We live in a new age, and it's time for us to upgrade our tinfoil hats. Operation Tinfoil is a freedom-focused small business and trusted sponsor of this show. Their super comfortable new line of beanies and baseball caps will not only crown your skull in style, but each of these dome defenders is lined with a silver mesh that blocks up to 99% of EMF radiation from cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and yes, even 5G. We don't know what EMF radiation does to the brain long term, but neither do they, so don't be their guinea pig and don't wait around to find out. Get your stylish tinfoil hat of the future today at gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. Again, that's gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. Today's show is sponsored by libertarian conspiratorial fantasy author Jack Casey. Whether you're looking for a 3-book fantasy sci-fi epic of love, death, and dystopian civil war like the Royal Green series, or just looking for a quick, dark, comedic, cultural commentary tale about a transsexual slayer of COVID regime vampires, like his latest book, WVW, Jack Casey Books will keep you adequately entertained and pondering the universe to your weird little heart's content. He's the Ayn Rand meets Stephanie Meyer meets somebody who actually writes entertaining books with his own unique little downer-esque flair. Find out more about Jack Casey Books at the aptly named jackcaseybooks.com. Once again, that is jackcaseybooks.com.
I found most people don't know who they are. They really don't.
What do you mean? I mean, I know my name, I know my age, I know where I live.
Yeah, that's not
what
you,
else
though.
is there?
You know, that's just
size,
it. If you ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are 2 words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick.
Okay.
You know, we don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? Well, that's an interesting question. Mm-hmm. And I believe if a person will start to study that and look for the answer, they'll find it. See, I think we live simultaneously on 3 planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies.
Okay.
But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web where the music is too loud and the system is down. Hey, we're going to do another one of those things. It's another hump day where we come on here and we watch the world burn and share a laugh at it together. But before we do that, as always, please go out, share the show with your friends, your enemies, your loved ones, your vaccinated and unvaccinated alike, and tell them that things are about to get spicy. Do that right now. Sharon's not even here. She must have started hitting the drink a little bit early, but we've got people in the chats. People talked about how the fact that birds are not real, and we've got Hefflumps Woozles saying Meth Pigeons and Dave Casey. We are set today. Yes, we are set today. Go out, share it, and let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do.
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
I don't know what I said.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves or possesses weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth. I remember that with that smoke. We are still here.
We have to say yes to social justice.
No. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you're listening to this, hello, and welcome back to the least comfortable show. Now, I already did all the prefacing, so I guess we don't really need to do that here. But we do need to do one thing, the most important thing, which is killing the music. And then, second most important thing is thanking my very favorite sponsor, which is you guys in the Downers Club. People like RJ, JC, Justin's... JC, can you just change your name to CJ? Because that would be way easier to read off at the beginning of this. RJ and then JC. I want RJ and CJ. So your name is CJ from now on, just like David Bradley is David Bradley. And Sharon is Sharon. Justin Savoy, Justico Mitchell, Silas Lane, Joey Ferguson, Amy Lepore, Adam Choit, Leah, and other people. If you want to get your name on that list... I don't feel like reading all your names right now, but I do love you and appreciate you very much. John Odermatt, Tim Brown, all you. Especially William Mills. Looks like he's been here the longest because he's at the very bottom. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but if you want to get your name on that list and probably have it read incorrectly at some point, go to patreon.com/thesystemIsDown and sign up for the Downers Club for as little as $5 a month, and that will not only get your name on that list, but it will also get you more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content, including but not limited to the after parties immediately following the show, which will be happening today. Today, after the show, we're going to talk about Sam Harris, I think officially losing his mind. I know there's been a lot of warning signs, and we thought that he lost his mind, but just when you think he couldn't get any dumber, he goes and redeems himself. Or outdoes himself? I don't know what the quote is. Dumb and Dumber. Anyway, that and conservatives burning their own shit down. We're going to talk about a lot of that. But get all the bonus backlog, everything, for $5 a month at patreon.com/thesystemIsDown, or for as little as $1, you can listen or watch the live stream of the after party as well. Go do that. Now, gotta talk about some news. Gonna do the things. Gonna have some chats, and it's a lot easier to chat when I'm not, by myself. Actually, I'm not sure. It might be easier to chat by myself because when I turn the camera off, I'm going to go walk through my house and talk to myself for the entirety of the rest of the day and evening. So just a little insight into who I am. This is not uncommon for me to do, even when it's a 3-hour New Year special solo. But I do prefer and don't have to think as hard when I have a guest on. And the guest is, he's been here a time or two, and I think he'll be back a time or two more. And I can't find my applause button because I got to give him his just reward or his just introduction. But it's the one, the only, from Dave vs. Goliath, Dave Casey.
Nazi fags.
Dang it, that's the wrong one.
Yay, applause. Where's that? That was the worst applause ever, bro.
Thank you.
Come on. I need the Joshua Smith audience of 150 applause.
It's the same applause as every week, Dave. I don't know what you're expecting. Hold on. Let me turn it up. Is that better?
Hey, Nazi fags.
Nazi fags.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How's it going over there? And where are you at? Boston? Just kidding.
Bro, you know where I'm at. I'm from Delaware. There's like 5 people on that Downers list from Delaware. I love it. It warms my heart.
I know, but you've got that Boston attitude about you.
It's the Delaware County accent right down there by the water, guys.
Did you grow up in Delaware, or have you moved around?
Well, you can get, like, Pennsylvania is where I grew up, but it's like 15, 20 minutes from here. So
same thing, yeah.
Same accent, different store, same groceries, bro.
That's right. Dave, how's everything going down there in Biden country?
It's great, man. I guess we have feds crawling all over the place, going through the garage, checking out the Corvette, see if we can,
Have you
plant some
spotted
evidence or
Sarwark
find
out there?
more, one or the other. What's that?
Have you spotted Sarwark out there at all? Planting evidence?
He's busy up in New Hampshire, man. Those guys, yeah.
Rad.
He's their problem.
Anything new in LPDL or LPDE?
Yeah, dude, thanks for asking, man. We just had a great event pushing back against the culture war here. We just had a Liberty Story Hour at the local library right down the street.
Nice.
That was great.
Drag, right?
Oh, my goodness. Give me a
Nice.
second.
Nice. And the co-host, Dave's dog. And his little dog, too. It's all part of the show. My cat used to come around, but he doesn't hang out during the show anymore for some reason. He'll probably be back around. Until then, we get Dave's dog. But as we all know, dogs are communists and also literally Hitler. And that is how we will fill the time while Dave calms down his tiny Hitler.
Really
Hi, Dave.
So embarrassed.
You should be.
now. She's a bad dog. She's so adorable.
Yeah, she's a scoundrel. Anyway, She was only interrupting you
forgive
talking
me.
about your thing, so. it's all
Look, we
good.
had a great event at the library. A bunch of kids came out. We read Tuttle Twins books, gave away some Tuttle Twins books to
Dressed
the
in
kids.
drag,
Right. Well, that's a prerequisite from this particular library that you can only come and read to kids if you're dressed in drag.
Makes sense.
No, seriously, this library would and did sponsor Drag Queen Story Hour, but would not sponsor Liberty Story Hour. So we had to get a room instead and kind of do it ourselves. But it was still really
so they
cool.
Kirk Cameron'd you. You heard about that, right?
Yes.
The libraries
Well,
won't
what-
let Kirk Cameron come read some like
I
Christian
saw some of
Christmas
that
book or
footage.
something, but it was the same
Right.
ones that did the Drag Queen Story Hour. Yeah.
This is it, man. I'm telling you, they depend on federal money, state money. This is just, and they just crank out. If you go to this website for this library, they're reading, all the books that they call banned books that are certainly not banned, but it's all about racist, white supremacy, equity, diversity, inclusion. It's
Pedophilia.
all of it. It's all included, top down, rainbow colors everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went and we had Dr. Irene, Mises Caucus member here and the Kent County chair, read some books to the kids. And we filled the room up and it was great. We're going to do more of those. So
Awesome.
pushing back.
Which Tuttle Twins books did you read, or did she read?
I think it was The Law. No, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
all
The
good.
dudes were all kind of hanging out. Ladies were kind of running the
Deidre's
story
drinking in
hour.
the corner.
We were running the booth, like giving away Anatomy to the State to like the people coming in the door, the dads, whatever. with
the
their
kids.
And
Here,
then-
kid,
and,
take your textbook.
Yeah. Guess what? We respect boundaries around here. So
Awesome.
it was great, though.
Very cool. When did you guys do that? Was that this last weekend?
this past Saturday.
Nice. About how many people you think for turnout?
We had the room held 30 and we had 25 people come out. So
Dope.
and mostly kids. My fear was that it was going to be like lots
a
of
bunch
libertarians and like
neckbeard
4 kids.
ginger dudes.
Right, Jesus. Damn it.
Read to me.
Right. Tell me a story, dude.
All right. Well, good to have you back, Dave.
Great to be here.
Always
dude.
a
Thank you.
pleasure. And yeah, we've got announcements. It's probably obvious, but Dave's going to come around more often. Whatever. We'll talk about it more as time.
We're
goes
going to
on,
make it
once we
Facebook
flesh
official. I'm going to make him put it on his Facebook page.
Right now, it's complicated. Okay, it's complicated. So don't worry about it. But Dave's here. Let's talk about some news. This is where we do that. We look outside. We watch the world burn. We share a laugh at it together. Because black pilled can only get you so far. It's good and all, and it's honest to be like, hey, we're fucked. But also, what are you gonna do? What do you just sit there and complain? Kind of, but we're gonna do it with jokes. Yes. Also, I should mention, we are not allowed to take super chats, as many of you know. So, and we're not because victim points. YouTube hates us. If you try and look up the podcast, you're gonna have a hard time finding it. Try it. I dare you. But I can't monetize. You can't find me, most likely. It's a miracle that you're here in the first place. So if you'd like to support, you can go to the Patreon. But if you would like to super chat right now, just put fake super chat in all caps. And if you have a comment that you really want me to read, I will do my best to get to them. Also, if that's not good enough, you can call in and interrupt us at any time at 309-716-3818. I really need to get a ticker down there with that number on it. That would be helpful.
Yeah. Take advantage of that. Call into the show. That'd be great.
Do it. The lines are open, and you can interrupt me whenever you want. Jack Casey is already chiming in with fake super chat. Send me your tarred, your bearded, your huddled autists yearning to be read to.
That guy should write that down. He's got a talent for writing. Write that down.
He sounds like an author. That was just pure poetry right there. Now, we always start out with the good news to really set the stage and make everybody happy. And the good news is usually like a joke, and then it ends up being bad news. Haha, that joke always happens. I'm just going to say it. It's bad news. It's just bad news. Because Tower Gang podcast went on Timcast last night. And if you want to call it that, the Tower Gang, quote unquote, went on Timcast. I don't know if any of you watch Tower Gang podcast, but there's 2 guys, to my understanding, that are the main regulars on Tower Gang that lead the whole thing. It's not Clint, and it's not Top Lobster, and it's not anybody who was on Timcast last night. I'm just saying. Now, I've said on Twitter before. Hold on. I've said on Twitter before, if Tower Gang gets on Timcast before I do, then I don't know, some sort of veiled threat, I'm sure, was in there as well. Now, technically, their name is in it, and they said that they went on. Does it count? Does it count as Tower Gang going on before me, or is this just Clint and Top Lobster simping for Tower Gang?
Bro, if you don't know the whole scoop, then let me give it to you.
I don't know any of the scoop. I'm just being an asshole.
So yeah, those two guys went on, and
they did great, by the way.
They did do great, and it was awesome to see. But Jose Galison is also booked for a solo appearance,
Nice.
as is Reed Coverdale for the following month. And
This is hurting more the more you talk. Please stop.
Toad and Fat Dave are booked as a duo to go on after that. So there's 4 separate Tower Gang experiences to look forward to. Yeah, they all got separate. You can't bring 8 motherfuckers in there and
Sure.
Be Tower Ganged in your own studio.
Right.
That's
I think it's
dangerous.
great. I don't even
separate.
like the competition in the podcast space has always been foreign to me. I'm just here minding my own business. Like Reed kind of used some of my ideas to, like, we've joked about it on the show and stuff. I don't care that Reed is infinitely bigger than me and been doing it way less time than me. I'm having fun, and I'm glad for these guys. I think it's awesome. They're spreading the message, and good for them.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, thank you. Applaud these dudes. That's right. No, it's awesome. Anytime Timcast brings on anybody in our sphere, go watch the show, share the links, congratulate them. It's awesome. It's cool.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough of that. But did you catch the show? Any highlights? Like, I don't have anything prepared here. I wasn't going to play a clip because fuck those guys. But did anything stick out to you that you thought was worth mentioning on this?
Those two dudes, Clint and Top Lobster. Yeah, I'm fans, and I think the whole talk was great. If you're interested in like starting like creating content or a business in this, like that whole talk was really focused around some cool stuff. So you could learn a lot that way. But Clint is really good at this stuff, like in the sphere. He's really good with people. He's quick. And Top Lobster has a good game plan, man. And he understands that you got to sell stuff, and then people might care about your opinion.
Right.
I like his business
Clint
model.
had the same business model. He was like, let me sell houses, and then I'll get them into my podcast.
Sure. I mean, he can fully focus on himself.
Once they buy houses, then they can lock themselves down, and then they'll appreciate my podcast more.
Well, he might have, like foregone some immediate pleasure for the later, and now he can completely focus on what he's passionate about. It's a good story all around. Those guys are cool, and yeah, congrats.
That's great. Danielle says Angela's was better. Womp womp.
Girl power.
Yeah, coming in strong with the feminist talk there, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Happy afternoon, where only the women are available to watch my show because all the men are out working. I'm just kidding. I think we have actually a majority men in here this time, which is strangely rare for a libertarian podcast. But
you're welcome, bro.
Or it's rare to have more women than I don't even know what's rare. I don't care. My jokes are failing. But Dave,
dude,
have you seen the Hunger Games movies?
Honestly, I've seen like them on TBS, and like I know the basic premise and skipped around, but no, like I don't know. I know what they're about, and
yeah, they're great.
I know the thing.
I'm gonna say
yeah,
they're pretty great. I mean, they're young teen stuff, so it's not like particularly my cup of tea, but my daughter loves them and she watches them all the time, and we've had conversations about like, you see that is happening right here in real life, and that is happening right here in real life, and like they also enjoy watching like the Masked Singer shit, and I'm like, you realize what we're watching right now? Like we are watching like the elites of the Hunger Games just like flagellating themselves with the most absurd costume bullshit. Like, I don't know. It's bizarre world that we're living in, but it continues because this is what's happening with Miss America these days.
Oh
yeah. She can barely walk. She's got like a gigantic stage prop attached to her body with a moon and stars, and she's like struggling to turn around. Look at my butthole. Look at my butthole underneath all this.
The only thing that's not covered.
Right.
Is her asshole.
She just like slowly like baby steps off stage because she can barely walk in that thing. This is pageant shit now. This is considered fashionable, and I've got nothing, Dave. What are your thoughts?
Bro, there's horny, and then there's war horny. I'm like war horny right now. I want to fucking drop a nuke on some ass.
You're turned on by this person, or you're turned on by
my God, like never before
destroying this person?
Yeah. Right. I like when they mix the sexuality and the violence. That's my favorite.
I mean, we've seen like the fashion shows lately are like hellscapes where anorexic people walk around completely covered from top to bottom in black leather in like apocalyptic backgrounds and shit. Like that's fashion now, and this is pageants. Like have we literally gotten to the point where we're just out of any ideas? All ideas. Like Hollywood sucks, fashion sucks, pageants I've always sucked, but now they're like it's not enough to just be a hot woman in a pageant now. You gotta like come out with stage props.
Bro, not only is it not enough to be a hot woman who can like come out in a gown or a swimsuit, and oftentimes you're not allowed to just have that. I mean, I think this is Miss Universe, right?
Something like that, yeah.
I think if it's Miss Universe, the person who just purchased Miss Universe or owns it or runs it is a transsexual.
Nice.
So the person who runs Miss Universe has a penis, right? And then you're parading around people like this, and this person is making it more inclusive by bringing in other people. So you don't. Yeah, it's like I think that and this might be fucked up. I think they might have not allowed like mothers to be a part of it before, or like married women or something like that. And that's fine. But if you're gonna let men be part of Miss Universe, it's like,
right.
I guess that's where we're at. You don't by any chance have I know that was USA. Did you see Miss Ukraine?
No.
Oh my God. This chick came out with fucking warrior wings, dude.
Oh.
Like animatronic warrior wings. It was the only one that was better than the US. I'm Ukraine first all the way. It was, as far as Miss Universe is considered. And the other thing that's noteworthy about this pageant is that Miss Ukraine and Miss Russia look like exactly the same. Again, like different stores,
Really?
same groceries. They probably shouldn't be going to war, is my point. You're the same people.
Right. Oh, okay. Miss Ukraine. Okay. Shit. Wow. Let's watch that.
Man.
Let's watch that.
Yeah.
Dope. I mean, hers at least looks good. Like
and she can move.
Right. It's still a frickin' like costume. It's not showing off any bit of her except for her face and her hands. So are we judging her based on what somebody like? That's where like this is literally the Hunger Games where they're like, it'll look amazing. Like you see the fashion people behind the scenes that are like, when you're fighting to your death, it'll look amazing when you're like on fire and shit like that. Like, I don't know. Like, what does this have to do with this person at all? When anybody could wear this, anybody could pose like that, and there are people with just as good of looking faces. Is it just the face, or is it? Are we just judging the costume?
It's anything but the face. It just has to be a face. So I don't know if this is the video or not, but like in one of these videos, probably the original cut, there's like an announcer that's like, and Miss Ukraine like represents the spirit of the warrior. The warrior princess swings at the swift justice. And like all these things. It's just like,
let's find out.
Oh, it's bad.
Soldiers and considers to be the patron of kids, the capital city. This warrior of light will help in their fight, Ukraine.
Ukraine.
The warrior of light will help in their fight for Ukraine. It's, oh my God.
What is it about announcers?
It's more propaganda.
What is it about announcers and like press figure, like journalists on TV, anchors, I suppose they're called, where did this we've always been humans, right? Like, where did this kind of talking come from? Where you're like, and then she went, like, nobody in the world talks like that. Why is it? Where did this come from?
I don't know. I think that oftentimes about like commercials, like why do they yell at people? But you must call now. Like, it's like, fuck, Jesus.
Get it, you piece of shit. Get it.
Yeah. It's like, there's really a way in which they deliver these things that are just probably subliminal and stuff. But
Yeah.
that guy's trying to get on your side.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like pageants in general, I was fine with like some of the like local pageants and stuff because I filmed some. I used to film more pageants. Now I do very occasionally the very local ones. But they took out like Miss America and stuff took out the swimsuit competition stuff like that. I'm fine with that. Like, sure, I can understand the argument for keeping it in there because beauty pageants are about what you look like and not what the costume is that you could afford. But they're like the whole remarketing of pageants is basically like it has nothing to do with your beauty. It has to do with your poise and your person. Like all of this still is just as demeaning because you're saying that women have to fit into this box and be judged on how well they fit into, like whether it's their legs or their personality or the way they speak or their ability to answer a question. Pageants are just fitting somebody into a box. It's like training them to be politicians and give the right answers to things that they don't actually believe in.
Yeah, man. And I think some of those, like those costumes, the warrior stuff, all this stuff goes along with like the destruction of the sacred feminine. Like while they claimed it's always the doublespeak, right? Like, and all those warrior soldiers, chicks, hot chicks from Ukraine on TikTok. You've seen these videos? Like they're destroying it. They're trying to make it look cool.
You mean the feds?
Of course.
The hot feds.
Capital T, they, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Yep. It's psyop. It all is. Also my daughter's in pageants, so I can't be too mean. I support her, and also I think we'll save it. Never mind. They suck. They kind of suck, and she does well at them. But I love her. Anyway, we're going to talk about something else now. Speaking of gender neutral things and pomp and circumstance, did you hear about the Brit Awards this year, Dave?
I did not.
The Brit Awards is an elitist circle jerk in Britain, I assume. But they had their award ceremony. This year they decided to go all gender neutral. Like they're not going to have men and women divided up. They're just going gender neutral so we don't have to deal with the drama or the bullshit. Guess what happened, Dave?
The men swept everything.
Dave, the men swept everything.
Oh,
you're absolutely correct. In fact,
patriarchy reigns supreme, bro.
The men were the only ones nominated even in the top category.
This destruction of the sacred feminine.
Right.
And the women were cheering, I bet.
Like this should go to show you like this and like mixing the sports up. It's like the reason why we had these separated wasn't because we thought less of women. It was for the equity. It was so you could play your sport and not get the shit kicked out of you. It was so you could act and win a fucking award because there are just some things that men are better at. And I don't know, like maybe these people are sexist and misogynist or something that nominated all these guys, but it's not up to me. The people have spoken. And wait, I've got a new clip here. Here we go.
Democracy.
Oh shit! Come on. Why isn't it playing? So I've got a new clip. Here it is.
I love democracy.
There you go. Good one, Dave. Thanks for setting it up.
No problem. It's a good one.
So, this comes from telegraph.co.uk, so you know it's legit. The Artist of the Year nominees for it's a music award. That's how professional we are here. I thought it was acting. The Artist of the Year nominees for the 2023 Brit Awards are all male after organizers opted to make the category gender neutral. Last year, the Best Male and Best Female categories were scrapped and replaced with a single award honoring artists irrespective of gender. At the time, critics warned that the move could be detrimental to women. This year's Best Artist nominees are Storms. Okay, so I don't know who any of these people are except for Harry Styles, and that is it. Because whatever, I'm old. Do you know any of those people, Dave?
No.
Yeah, you're older. The album, it's just a statement of fact. The Album of the Year category is also dominated by men with Wet Leg, the only female act out of contenders. I don't know who Wet Leg is, but that's the only person that was nominated.
She's making a splash.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is this is the equity that you were looking for. This is the inclusion. And in fairness, like, this is the only way to do it. When people are screaming at you that you have to nominate this type of person, that type of person, and everything in between, what do? Like, the obvious logical thing to do is be like, all right, you all can be included in the same category, and may the best man win. And by man, I mean man.
Yeah.
Because it was. I don't think the awards have actually happened yet. I think this is just the nomination process. But yeah, it's telling.
Yeah, I think it tells who is like already on board with ESG. Like, we don't care about, we're not interested in profits.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't have to compete anymore.
Right.
We have this stuff that we do.
Do you mean that they're not worried about profits is why they had the gender inclusion, gender neutral thing?
So I just mean the greater push for inclusion at the cost. Like, if you look at Disney stuff, or, you know, that's probably a pretty good example of what they've done to lots of their IP over the past, couple years.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's the profitable thing or what made them money before. They're losing money,
right?
But they don't care. So I just think that's a red flag. If you see people going woke on purpose in 2023,
is this even woke though? That's my question. Are these people woke? Is that why they made it gender neutral, or are they like, hey, we're going to cover our ass by like it does? You don't have to be woke. You're just like, fuck it. Like, if you wanted this, here you go. Here's what it is. All the men are winning. Sorry.
I think it, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but it looks
also,
like
how does the nomination process work? Because that's entirely up to them, I would imagine. So if they made the gender neutral thing and then they're the ones that only nominated men,
right,
then that's even worse.
Be real weird. That would
that's
be real
worse.
Weird. Like an inside job. But if they decided to go gender neutral to be equitable and actual democracy got them that,
right,
then that's just hilarious.
It is.
Poke fun at it. Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's hilarious, but you know, that's the end of that sentence. Speaking of, I don't know, women, men, I don't know, emo music. Let's talk about that. Dave, do you know this band from the olden days called Fall Out Boy?
Oh yeah, they were the dudes in that genre.
They were some of the dudes, yeah. They were one of my faves, but I'm musically homosexual, I'm pretty sure. But Dave, did you get into this band at all that I was told only women are allowed to like for my entire life, and I don't care because they're great?
I was never a huge fan of that band, though they did have a couple bangers that I thought were pretty good. Later on, like when they started to go less emo and like kind of like more like epic kind of like shit, I thought that was kind of cool.
They went straight pop for a while too.
Oh yeah,
I was here for all of it.
But shout out to my boy Dan Torelli, who co-hosts my show. He played drums in the band Medina Lake they were out of Chicago. So Plain White Tees, Fall Out Boy, like those guys were all from around there. They all kind of ran in the same circles and stuff. So yeah, the Skinny Jeans, they was a big part. Guy Liner, all that stuff.
Guy Liner and Skinny Jeans, bro. Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking
Warped Tour. Yeah, we did a lot of that. So I was privy to a lot of it. Met a lot of those dudes.
Yeah,
but not those guys particularly.
And this is really just me sharing something that I think is cool, because sometimes you just need some entertainment music or entertainment news. And they're back. They did some things. They did some. They're bringing back the emo, which I like. They're bringing back the pop punk vibes, and I respect and appreciate it greatly. With a lot of weird, artwork and things. The song is "Love from the Other Side of the Apocalypse," or "Love from the Other Side" is the title, but it's of the apocalypse. I haven't dug through the lyrics much, but it seems like there might be some references there to COVID. I could be talking out my ass, but I don't know. I'm here for it artistically, and I do feel bad for Patrick Stump, who's the vocalist there. He got like lap band surgery before he went solo about 10 years ago, and then he'd lost a shit ton of weight, and now that they're coming back, he's fat again, but it's fine. We all grew up on Fat Pat, and I'm down for it.
The lap band didn't work. He's a tremendous vocalist. I remember that.
He really is, yeah. And they've always been a band that I've respected. Like, it's weird that like their front man is Pete Wentz, who's like the bass player,
But he also writes the lyrics, and he's just the pretty boy who's on the magazine covers and stuff, but he's the bass player, and who gives a shit about the bass player? But he's basically the manager and the creative mind behind the entire project. So, like, as much as I could dog on some of their stuff that went a little too radio-friendly, a little too poppy and stuff, dude's like a freaking mastermind as far as marketing, because they went through all these different phases and stayed relevant, stayed with the culture, and now the culture's going back a little bit toward the emo side of things with I don't know. The only thing I can think of right now is Timcast doing their shitty song. But they're bringing it back. I'm working on some emo shit myself, and I'm going to be bringing it back as well. And me and Dave are going to work on some rap stuff. I'm just going to say it. But yeah, I'm stoked for this. I think it's great that they're putting out stuff. They're all like old dudes and dads and stuff, so I was watching an interview with them, and they're talking about, like, if we're going to do something, it's going to have to matter. Like, it's going to have to be worth doing, because we're taking time away from our families and our normal lives and things. So, yeah, I think it's great. I'm just sharing it because I think it's great. That's all. Any thoughts, Dave?
I like to see dudes wait out the storm. You know, like when emo, whatever, it goes away, things come and go. And it's cool that, like, I don't know, like whatever, legends of hip hop, you know, you might catch like a bunch of like bands that were cool or rap groups that were cool 20 years ago, like getting on a tour. So yeah, I think that's really great. They can come back, serve their audiences. I mean, Fall Out Boy was kind of huge. I'm not surprised that they're able to do this. Right. But I'm pro that. I'm glad that they can do it as old dudes and dads and give you what you want, bro.
I agree. I'll take it. I'm old, and I just want that old emo shit, because I'm still musically gay and retarded, but it's fine. We are now going to jump over and talk about something that was submitted to us by the one and only Heffalumps Woozles, who I think is in the chats. Shout out. And because it was submitted, that makes it one of these.
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Hey, get what you deserve!
All your days are belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
Oh, where is it? All right, there it is. Hey, yeah, it's Freak of the Week, where you guys send in your submissions. If you find something absolutely retarded that you want me to talk about, send it on over to dan@tsidpod.com or slide into my DMs on Twitter @tsidpod and let me know what you want to hear us make fun of. This is from the Growth Hop. I don't know. Either way, .com, so you know it's legit. Pigeon sporting a backpack containing crystal meth found in BC prison. Staff in Abbotsford took action after spotting the tiny backpack. Quote, you can imagine how that would look trying to catch a pigeon. So, meth is going into and out of this prison, or delivering it to people within the prison, I think. We can read it, but somebody fashioned a tiny pigeon backpack to this bird, which is obviously a drone for the government because, as we know, birds aren't real. But they got away with it for a while because they made a tiny backpack, stuck some meth in it, and I mean, this is like libertarianism 101, I'm pretty sure. What do you think, Dave?
Sure. Obviously, yeah, the market provides, and it has provided somebody in that prison with something that's better than gold, sir. This is methamphetamines. I can't tell you how much I can get for this in here.
Screw smuggling cigarettes. Going straight for meth.
You know the street value inside the clink of this? Jesus. So yeah, I'm so interested in this, actually. I want to know if this is a system that's been going on back and forth with like a devoted pigeon or pigeons. I want to know if this is
you could have a whole meth fleet of pigeons.
Right. Did one guy outside of the prison take the time to like catch and train a pigeon to just get some meth to somebody?
I just like the idea of like a gangster thug dude who's like dealing drugs and shit, but on his free time, he's like, man, I got to get this pigeon trained so I can get my homie some of that good shit. And he's like out there with his little pigeon on a leash, like, come on, bro, just wear the backpack. It's all good.
It's an untapped market, son. They don't even know. They got to know. We're going to fly that shit in.
That's right.
Oh, it's like a little mini CIA plane.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like right on like the normal playbook for the CIA, right? You got the fake pigeons that are actual government drones, and you're trafficking drugs to and from wherever is convenient, where people will pay for it. So
sprinkle some meth on it. You got an instant criminal, right? Whatever
right.
you need to do.
That's right.
It's great.
Maybe this pigeon was framed. Maybe the the feds got him, and they're like, we found your shit, dude. He's like, oh, I was just holding that for a friend. Anyway, Correctional Services of Canada is investigating after a pigeon equipped with a mini backpack containing crystal methamphetamine was discovered at the Pacific Institution in Abbotsford, BC, late last year. According to CBC News, the feathered deliverer was apprehended on December 29th. Happy New Year. After staff at the Pacific Institution, a multi-level complex with about 500 people and all living units organized around a central courtyard, managed to collect the drug-toting bird. Medical News Today reports methamphetamine on odor. We know what meth is. Jeez. All right. Staff eventually coral flightly. All right, guys. Just tell me what happened. Stop being cute with it. Global News reports that pigeon was found near one of the institution's recreation yards by correctional officers and security intelligence. So I don't even know if they know. How could you even prove if it was going to or from, or who's responsible for it? And here's the real question: how much can a pigeon carry? According to Pigeonpedia, which is news to me that is a thing that exists, and God bless the internet, a pigeon can safely carry about 10% of its own body weight. If that's accurate, and with pigeons weighing in at about 240 to 320 grams, that would allow for a comfortable delivery of 24 to 32 grams. Now, Dave, you're a bit of a drug dealer yourself. How much is 24 to 32 grams of meth? Is that a lot, or is that a little? I have no bearing.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't start a career on the streets outside in the streets with that. I mean, you could, but that would be small change. But in prison, that would get you everything you want for forever, for all the cigarettes you want, all the extra pudding pops.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Oh, look at his little backpack. Oh.
Listen, I'm on the tip that this is not. If you caught them once, this is the 500th trip that this pigeon has taken.
Yeah, and like, how did they spot? I don't know. So they saw a pigeon with. It looks like they tried making the backpack kind of the same color as the pigeon. So they saw a pigeon with something weird on its back, and they're like, "Let's get that pigeon." They chased it down until they caught it, and then like, "Oh, it's meth." I don't know. Part of this story doesn't really make sense to me, because who sees something on a pigeon and chases after it at all? Unless I guess
it.
Right. Unless I guess I'm guessing there was probably like, some shady business going on to where they were suspecting that something was happening, and so they kind of had an eye out or something, and maybe this is more common than we think. But hey, entrepreneurs, good on you, I suppose. But I don't know. You might need a different method, because you're getting shut down by these assholes.
So cool. I hope it's legit. That's my only hope, is that that's not an inside job. You know what I mean? I hope it's real.
Do you suspect that the cops or whoever, the security at the prison, hired this pigeon to be a patsy, and
we need more funding. We need more funding. And look, there's no easy way to tell you this, pigeon, but we're going to need you to take the fall for this one.
Absolutely. Now, that's it for that one. But speaking of funding, and speaking of needing more of it, we're going to play some ads. That's my segue.
Today's episode is sponsored by Decido Apparel Company. Decido's shirts and apparel will not just cover your ugly body, but they'll make you look good and maybe even help you strike up an uncomfortable conversation, and you know how I feel about those. With grabbing designs like Where's the List, Operation Northwoods, Fetterman 24, Branch Davidians Should Have Never Stopped Shooting, and my personal favorite, Stanley Kubrick's Apollo 11, Decido shirts will have you opening up valuable conversation doors and building culture one wear at a time. Check out all their designs and support this incredible company now at Decido.com. That is DSYDO.com. Get it. Today's episode is sponsored by Astero's Cybersecurity Services. The These days, organizations of all sizes are targets for cyber criminals, disgruntled employees, or even nation-state attackers. Asteros performs cybersecurity services providing expert guidance to help organizations defend against threats and protect their data. Asteros specializes in penetration testing, where they perform ethical hacking on networks, web apps, or organizations as a whole to simulate what an attacker would do and plug the discovered holes before anyone malicious finds and exploits them. Asteros also specializes in vulnerability management, security awareness training, phishing simulations, cloud security audits, compliance readiness assessments, and much more. As technology expands, it becomes easier and easier to run a business, but if your security is not growing along with your company, then you're going to run into problems. If you don't personally have a company of your own, definitely pass this information along to someone who does, because for a limited time, Asteros is offering companies an attack surface audit completely free. Let Asteros discover potential entry points to your network and how susceptible your company or organization is to cyber attacks. To learn more and to take advantage of this essential offer, just go to asteros.com/free. That's Asteros, ASTEROS.com/free.
And we're back. Time Continuum in the chat says 2 ounces. Now, Time Continuum, if I didn't know what... I wasn't asking for the conversion. I still don't know if that's a lot of meth or a little bit of meth. I have no idea. I've never done it. I've never done 1 ounce of meth even. I don't know. I have no bearing on how much meth is a lot of meth. I watched Breaking Bad, but that's the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah, if I could help...
And I've been to Porkfest once or twice. Or
it'd be
3 or
weed
4
metrics,
times.
but that's all I can help with.
Right. Anyway, speaking of, I don't know, big piles of crap, let's talk about this MLK statue. Did you see the MLK statue, Dave?
Yeah, I'm still confused by it.
Well, who isn't? The entire world is very confused by this statue, and without spoiling it for anybody who has not been paying attention, because they have their head buried in either the sand or whatever MLK seems to have his head buried in this statue. Let's see the unveiling, the glorious $10 million statue in Boston, Dave's hometown. That's it. $10 million. Now, this is like I have found in autistically exploring the internet and mostly Twitter that this sculpture is a bit of a Rorschach test for a lot of people. Different people see different things, and it kind of depends on how much of a degenerate you are or how much of a liar you are. Dave, what do you think this is a sculpture of, just from what you've seen?
Honestly, man, I am confused, and I've seen like a couple angles. This one looks like the main part there looks like a leg. That looks like a leg, and somebody holding up like the leg like this. But I'm still a little confused.
Which would make the head of the person on the left where?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Where's your head at? If that is in fact a head, which it definitely could be, looks like it from here. But I've seen other angles where it definitely just looks like the leg from the other end looks like a huge phallus.
Huge phallus. I've also seen a giant turd, like hands holding up a turd. It depends on really what angle you look at this thing from. And of course, the media is going with the very generous versions. But this is from Newsweek.com, so you know it's legit. Boston's Martin Luther King Jr. statue slammed as, quote, ugliest thing ever. I mean, that's a little harsh. I mean, most confusing thing that I've seen in a while? Sure, certainly. Have you looked at other angles of this thing? Have you, legitimately, have you figured out what it's supposed to be?
No, I haven't looked too much into it. I did see one other angle, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be, and it's kind of a cool concept and idea, but it's like 2 sets of arms, like, hugging each other and, like, embracing each other, but they don't have heads, so it's like, it turns into this, I don't know, this, especially with it being the bronze color, turns into a giant turd or a big old dick or, you know, I don't know what's going on in there. Did my mouse just die? That would be really inconvenient right now. That would be...
That's a lot of podcasts, dude.
Wildly inconvenient. Dave, talk about this for a second while my mouse charges, because fuck you, Apple, for not putting the charge port on the side or the front of the mouse, but on the bottom of it, so I can't use it while it's charging.
Got to use the Apple tools. I think this is unfortunate from
What,
start
the mouse?
to finish. Yeah, the mouse.
The mouse
This is really
situation, yes.
bad timing. Bad timing for that and that sculpture there. I'm sure that was spent. That was probably city money that spent $10 million to make something so unfortunate. And I know, dude, art is subjective. Not everybody likes emo. Not everybody likes
bullshit.
Modern art, sculpture,
There's
like that.
There's two types of people, Dave. People that like emo and fucking liars. Okay?
Nazi fags.
People who are uncomfortable with their sexuality and they're just in the closet still.
That's it. Understood. But that sculpture, it's not for, I'll say that, it's not for me. Doesn't leave a whole lot to the imagination. And what it does leave is just like, doesn't lead you down anything good.
Right. I think it leaves too much to the imagination in some ways, but also if you, even when you see it, it's like, it's not that, I don't know, not that creative. Come on, mouse.
Doesn't that suck that like it's not enough to make a statue of Martin Luther King, like just the man? Like that's crazy. That would do it. I know it's not totally crazy and avant-garde, but I feel like we're missing some of that. Keep it simple.
I hope you said smart things. I wasn't listening. But thank you for killing the time, Dave. I really appreciate it. So, a statue honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King, has been slammed as the ugliest thing ever, probably because of racism. Title, Embrace. The 20-foot high statue was unveiled in Boston on Saturday, January 14th, in the U.S.'s oldest city park, Boston Common. Weighing 309 pounds, the statue sits on the site where the civil rights leader gave a speech on April 23rd, 1965. It depicts the moment he hugged his wife after winning the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Now, do they have... So if you look at it from this angle, that's... that could be dick or turd. It's hard to say.
Right.
But really, like, on the left and right there would be the shoulders of the... It would be Martin Luther King's shoulders, because I'm assuming the one on the other side is supposed to be his wife, since it's got the lady bracelet on, kind of effeminate hands. So Martin Luther King's shoulders and like his entire torso is just this blobby dick turd shape. And I don't know. I'm not like I like the premise of this. I think artistically this is a neat idea. If this was like a painting or something where you only could look at it from one angle, great. And I think it was based off a painting even. But when you're sculpting something, when you're bringing something into the real world, you have to take very careful consideration into what it looks like from every angle. And from most angles, it looks like something lewd. And from one angle, it looks kind of neat. But even for the concept, like if you're standing at, I'm curious, like if you're standing at street level looking up at it, is there any way for this to look legitimately cool and respectful and not like gross?
It is not beautiful. Art should make like you should walk by that thing and go, oh my God. Like I just need to stop for a while.
I mean, they do. They're like, oh my God, what am I looking at?
That's fucking disgusting. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Look away, children. That's Dr. Martin Luther King. Don't look at it.
Look away, children.
Yep.
It's awful, dude. Like, it's not good. You did not accomplish your mission. And, you should melt it and start over.
Yes. So I don't need to read all of this, but quote from somebody, Seneca Scott's cousin, I don't know who these people are, I didn't read the article, slammed the statue, saying it was, quote, masturbatory. Quote, when it came out, a little boy pointed out that's a penis. And everyone was like, yo, that's a big old dick, man. He told
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they do have plausible deniability.
The kid pointed it out first. Like, oh, well, look, fuck.
That's the hugest dick in the world if it's a dick, right? So they do have,
definitely black.
Right. That's a huge black dick. I mean,
it's not like, it's still complimentary at least.
Yeah, right. It doesn't look good. It's like everything about it is gross. Art should be beautiful. It should blow you away and make you think, and this doesn't do any of that.
Another quote says, if you had showed that statue to anyone in the hood, they'd have been like, no, absolutely not. So
right, yeah.
So the community that this is supposed to be honoring is even like, yo, that ain't it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is so bad. Like, the roots of this could be nefarious because it's so. I don't know. They love their doublespeak. These motherfuckers, these demons. So that's how you honor Martin Luther King.
I love that conspiracy mindset, Dave, because I'm just like, oh, these poor, like, I'm just here empathizing with the artist who had this amazing thing in mind, and then he brings it out, and then this kid's like, it's a dick. Fuck, it's a dick. It is. Right. It is. I didn't look at it that way. Like, that's like, imagine if it is like just legit, and that guy's just like dying inside, knowing that everybody is destroying the thing that he like slaved. No, maybe not slave. Maybe that's not the word. Thing that he worked really hard and got very well compensated for.
Right. No, it's very bad. And if you're going to be public with your art, you got to take the critique. And it's really, really, really ugly, bro.
Absolutely. Quote, $10 million were wasted to create a masturbatory metal homage to my legendary family members. So I guess this is somebody who's related. Maybe I should have read the article. Maybe we'll go back up and find out who this person is. But one of the all-time greatest American families. End quote. It seems many others agreed with the 43-year-old and argued it looked like a phallus. Quote, WTF, this city continues to deliver mild racial progress, performative actions, and tempered attempts at inclusion. The hashtag MLK statue looks like a large penis. Yes, I'll go see the large penis, but it's still a penis, tweeted one person. Another added, I know the design came from a photo of MLK and Coretta hugging each other, but why not have a sculpture of their faces instead? We see Paul Revere's face in 2 locations, yet for MLK we get arms. I live here, and I'm honestly disappointed, Boston. So, like, even the well-meaning people are just like, guys, what are you doing? I don't know, taking the heads off. Again, artistically, I'm kind of like, that's neat abstract idea in a certain context, but you got to understand the full context of a sculpture that people are going to be walking around, and if you make it brown, you make it look like a turd or a dick, then this is what you get.
And it's
hope
not
you're
like
happy, MLK.
It's not like this took you like an hour or something. Like, there was a blueprint,
right?
And you worked it out. It got
there was a committee. You bet your ass there was a committee.
3D model. Bro, yeah, this made it through committee. You had a 3D model. You knew exactly what it was going to look like, the cost of it.
Right. I struggle with working with committees because they all have terrible ideas. Maybe this was committed to shit. Maybe it's the committee's fault that this happened. I mean, honestly, that's entirely possible that they had an idea.
Look more like shit. The committee.
Like, literally and figuratively, just make it look shittier. Just all around. I think
How about a statue of him hugging his wife? Love your wife.
Right.
Love your family. Dr. Martin Luther King. Great.
Yeah, but what if we made the hugging of the wife look like a dick, though? Then it's like win-win.
Yeah, stop me if you heard this one. You're going to spend more money. You're going to make it look like a turd dick. From all angles.
Turdickin', I think is what that's called. Now Leslie Jones apparently is co-hosting The Daily Show. I don't keep up with these late time things, but I don't know. Like, I don't like Leslie Jones, but I don't like it was Trevor Noah, right? That was The Daily Show before. Yeah. Yep. I'm not a huge fan of either of them. I don't really care. It's probably because I'm a racist, but not really. I just never liked her. She's like the Tracy Morgan of feminism, where it's just like you're yelling, and I don't find yelling funny, frankly. And that's your entire shtick.
This chick is not funny.
Tracy Morgan is not funny. Tracy Morgan has never done anything other than be Tracy Morgan, and I don't find Tracy Morgan.
He is one character. You're right about that.
And maybe it's a generational thing, because I talk to a lot of older people. No offense, Dave. None
taken, cock.
Like, literally, I just had this conversation with a guy who is awesome and like one of my mentors, basically, who was like talking about Tracy Morgan and how much he liked him. I was like, I don't know. Like, is this just a generational gap? Because weigh in the chats or call in. Let me know your thoughts on Tracy Morgan, because I'm like, I want to like him. I liked 30 Rock okay, but my least favorite part of 30 Rock was Tracy Morgan. He didn't even shoot anybody. And then you go on to like him and other things. I'm like, oh, this guy is just the same character in every single fucking thing, and I don't like that character. Just the dumb black dude. I'm surprised he hasn't been canceled for playing dumb black dude stereotype.
Oh man, I mean, I'll tell you, he was on Saturday Night Live when I thought Saturday Night Live was cool. So
Sure.
that's where I know most of my Tracy Morgan stuff. And he would come out there and lay like 1 or 2 one-liners down. And yes, plays the exact same character. So does, Adam Sandler. Ooh, what did he do?
Sure.
Like what did that, milk that for as much as you can.
Uncut Gems, bro. Let's see Tracy Morgan's Uncut
No, see,
Gems.
you're right about that. He does do the same thing. But Leslie Jones is trash. Let's get back. She did.
All right, fine. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's like Tracy Morgan, but she's a woman, so it's worse. Anyway, she said this about the MLK statue. Oh, it's not going to play because I made a sexist joke. All right.
Son of a bitch.
Let me refresh.
She's
Get
going to
her
yell
take.
at us.
Come on.
Maybe it's just a matter of time. In time, we will see this statue for what it truly is. Martin Luther King going down on his wife. I can't unsee it! I can't unsee it!
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm kind of surprised, honestly. Like, she's more on the woke side and everything, and we know that. I'm surprised that they would allow her, that the handlers at The Daily Show would even allow her to poke fun at this as a black woman. This is supposed to be your representation, and you're supposed to love this. And if you don't love this, then you're a racist. Like, you can't call people racist for not liking it if Leslie Jones also thinks that it looks a little bit questionable.
Yeah, you can't get around that, dude. I can't believe she put her big old titties on the table like that. That was
They got to go somewhere, bro.
She's got my vote so far for the. I know that they got Chelsea Handler coming on.
Do they?
Yeah, so she's gonna probably bid for that job too. But so far, that was pretty funny. And yeah.
So are they just like
I'm
trying
for it.
out people and
Yep.
seeing like who likes what? I think that's great. I didn't know anything about this. I saw this clip and I was like, is she like the new host? I didn't even realize that she was like temporary at first, but yeah, I think that's great. Like, try out some people, give people shots,
Yeah.
and watch how good the ratings are. Like, that's how it should be, democracy or whatever. In this space, like, if people want to see it, great. If they don't want to see it, which you'll find out very quickly with people like Trevor Noah, over time, it's going to become very apparent that the person that you forced in there doesn't have what it takes. So, yeah. I
Do
think
you
it's cool.
think Trevor Noah could have gotten away with that joke?
Possibly. I mean, the real question is, could Jon Stewart have gotten away with that joke?
Right. The equity is she can probably say a lot, especially and right now.
Right.
And they have the argument that there's only white men running late night.
Right.
So you should do something about that.
Didn't Chelsea Handler have a late night show for a second?
She did, and it was trash because
And
she's
so they're
human
like,
trash.
well, you failed at your own show. Let's try and give you the Daily Show and see how well you do.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Now, there's a part of me that appreciates the joke that she just made. There's another part of me that's like, the joke that I've seen going around on the twits is very similar to this one, but you tweaked it a little bit there at the end because she said it looks like he's going down on his wife. All over Twitter, they're saying, looks like he's going down on one of his mistresses. So maybe
you got to take that too.
There's still a little bit of control there to where they're like, you can make fun of it, but don't go that far. I don't know.
Right. Absolutely, dude. Sacred cows.
I mean, that's the better joke because that's like the uncomfortable truth, and also, it's true.
That's usually where the truth lies, man. Nobody is perfect. He did lots of great things. Take them, remember them, but let's not lionize people into being, saints.
Right. Now, what are your thoughts on like taking down problematic statues, Dave? Because that could frankly go both ways. If the locals are like, oh, we don't like what this person stands for, I'm like, if they, hold on, I gotta play it. Nope, it's not there. I gotta play my I Love Democracy clip. Man, this joke sucks.
That Martin Luther King statue looked
I
like
love
somebody who started to melt down a statue. That's what that looked like.
Right. Like, for me personally, I'm like, if the community agrees to take down a statue that they deem problematic, I don't have a problem with that. If people are forcibly ripping down statues that forced taxpayer dollars paid to construct, then that's a different thing entirely. Whatever, you guys can, different communities can have different values and take down or put or erect, if you will, pun intended, erect whatever statues they want. But if you're going to take down statues because they're racist and then put up something that looks like either a big black dick, a turd, or a dude going down on his MLK going down on his mistress, is this what you were going for? You take down the racism and put this up. Maybe that'll help. What do you think, Dave?
Obviously, yeah, we saw the rush to take down racist statues a couple years ago.
Right.
But that was definitely the precursor, right? Because everything comes back to the 2030 agenda for me, bro. So they need, for that to work out, they need to erase history and kind of like erase the institutions as we've come to know them here. Things like law and order, right? Or the rule of law is a better way to say that. So yeah, got to break down the institutions. Oh yeah,
there we got a number, guys. The phone lines are open. Call in 309-716-3818. It's right above Dave's head, and
give us a call.
We'll put it somewhere else. I don't know. We'll figure this out as we go. But yeah, this is just a bad statue, and I don't think it's offensive. I mostly feel bad for the artist, and I got to keep coming back to that because, man, that would suck.
Don't feel bad.
I do. The conspiracy side of me is like, they're trying to make the black community look even worse with this. I could go there, certainly, but I think it's probably just committee to shit, bad choices, and somebody who was trying really hard to make something very inspirational, and, something that touches you, but didn't plan for it to touch everyone in quite this way, in this very forceful, touching way.
Well, there's no way that it couldn't have not been a black artist, right? Like you couldn't have.
That's a good question. I would imagine not.
Right.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if it was some white dude, because that's how these things usually work behind the scenes.
Would be amazing. Right. Who identified as a Leslie Jones.
Sure. Yes. Well, yeah. Who is more likely a man in real life? Is it Michelle Obama or Leslie Jones, Dave?
It's got to be Leslie Jones, because Michelle Obama is definitely Michelle Obama is a woman. That's all fucking. That's smoke and mirrors, because they don't want you to know that.
Wait, that bulge was smoke and mirrors? Very oddly placed smoke and mirrors.
That's all fake to take you away from the fact that Barry Obama is a gay man.
Yeah, a closeted one who's ashamed of his sexuality, and she is ashamed of her gender.
She might be broad-backed, and that's a huge bitch. That might be true, but she's not. Yeah, that's the distraction to get you not looking at the real thing.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
You don't believe in Big Mike, Dave? Is Big Mike like Santa Claus to you?
I've seen the photos, man. But what I haven't seen are photos of childbirth or like pictures of them with babies. So that's
true.
Again, goes either of our conspiracy theory could be true based on that, because
I'll make you a believer in Big Mike as time goes on, Dave.
Oh, are you a believer in that? 100%? You sold on that one?
Maybe we'll talk more in the after party.
Oh, I'm excited.
We'll add that to the agenda. Don't let me forget.
Don't Joan Rivers me, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's save it. Save it, Dave. Go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down to hear us talk about Sam Harris, Steven Crowder and conservatives, and Big Mike. The full spectrum, I'm pretty sure that covers. But before we do, we're going to end on something very important. Yes, we are going short today because we're working on that structure. And also, as I pay less attention to the news, the more I realize there isn't any. It's not. And it's all fake. So fuck it. But this is definitely news, and this could have been like the headline on its own. It's just a short little 33-second clip from Prince Harry. Do you know anything about Prince Harry's memoir, Dave?
His memoir? Nah.
Yeah, it just came out. It's called Spare, because he
Thank
feels...
God.
It's called Spare because he feels like the outcast and all that in the family and blah, blah, blah. Very woe is me. I think it's funny, like Prince Harry and Meghan what's-her-face keep going on these like press tours to talk about how they just want their privacy. They just want people to leave them alone. Leave me alone. They say, I need my privacy. They say, day after day, interview after interview, Netflix series after Netflix series, memoir after memoir. Just stop paying attention to us, please. Also, I'll see you tomorrow on The View. But Prince Harry just put out a memoir, which also, I'm guessing it was probably ghost written, because that's usually how these large memoir people do. But I think it's him reading the audiobook And because of that beautiful fact that he read the audiobook, I don't care who wrote it, we have this nugget from Prince Harry's memoir. And I'm so glad you haven't heard this, because this is my favorite thing of the week, Dave.
Awesome.
Are you ready?
Yep.
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized. The last place I wanted to be was Frostnipistan. I'd been trying some home remedies, including one recommended by a friend. She'd urged me to apply Elizabeth Arden cream. My mum used that on her lips. You want me to put that on my todger? It works, Harry. Trust me. I found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time. I felt as if my mother was right there in the room. Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
That's it.
What the fuck did I just listen to? You sick bastard. Oh, get out of my country, you sick fuck. Ew.
What? I mean, typically I'm like, hey, I need more context for this, but I don't. I'm good. I'm really
Is this what happens
good.
when you go to Audible and you're like, give me a snippet of this book, and it gives you that? 30
Yeah,
seconds
I hope
or
that's
something?
the main snippet that they're like, hey, just so you know, no spoilers. This doesn't like weigh into the actual story, but this dude is going to talk about it, how his penis was oscillating, which if you ever find yourself saying the phrase, my penis was oscillating, just even out loud or even in your head, stop, don't think that anymore. Wipe that. And then if you find yourself speaking it to somebody else who's writing it into your memoirs that you're going to have to read later for your audiobook that's going to be your entire representation for your entire life. I mean, how many hurdles did you have to jump over before we had this glory in our
My penis
midst?
was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
From what?
His penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
I hear
what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. I hear what what happened, what the result was of what was the incident that did this to him. Do we know?
I don't know, man. I said I don't want the
Are
context.
you in a war zone?
Now.
Did something happen? Did an IED go off and your whole body was going through some shit?
Oh, he was
God.
probably just tired from all the Epstein Island visits.
Oh my God, there Jimmy Seville was fucking rubbing this crap on. Oh, Jesus.
Yes, and then he goes on to talk about how he remembered they were like, you need to put that on your dick. And he's like, no, my mom used that on her lips. And then he's like, so I applied it to her, and the memories of her came back like she was in the room with me as I stroked myself with mom. What?
Right, dude. Maybe just scrap this chapter, bro.
We know your entire family lineage in the royal families. Like, your family tree is a totem pole. We get that. It's all inbred elitist bullshit. That's why you guys suck more and more as time goes on. But like, good on you for I guess being honest. I mean, this has to be honest. This isn't something that you would fucking make up and put in your memoirs, right?
Right. I definitely want to. This feels like the middle of a story, and I want to hear the beginning and the end. So I might buy the book. I guess that's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying.
I might have a free like token or two on my Audible account or credit. This might be worth it just to find that chapter. Oh, it's chapter 43, by the way. I should point out they included that in the image here.
That motherfucker's got more than 43 chapters in his book. Yep. Oh, dude, come on. What have
I
you
would
really
hope
done?
this isn't the end of the book either, because that'd be a awkward ending. But who knows, man?
Wow.
Yeah. These are the people who rule us, y'all.
Right,
the people who have nothing better to say than please stop paying attention to me, but also read my book where I talk about pleasuring myself thinking about my mother.
Oh my God, with some fucking medicated Carmex. You fucking sick. You sicko. Oh, now he's in our country, and he just had a baby that was born here. So that baby will be king president in about 35 years or so.
Absolutely, that's true. I didn't even think about that. So their baby was born in America. So the royal family could be running for president in a few years. Within our lifetime. Kill me now.
That's right.
Send
King
the nukes.
President George. Whatever that baby's name is. Yep.
Oh, God. Jack Casey says, fake super chat. Dan, make this a new soundbite for future episodes. I mean, which part? It's all gold. That's like asking me to make...
Probably turd dickin'.
I think he's talking about the Prince Harry stuff, but
okay, cool.
It's kind of like asking me to make sound bites out of the Kanye West interview that was like 3 hours of just gold. Like, where do you start, man? Even just in this 33-second clip, did you want me to use this?
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive.
I'm not sure what the situation is where that's going to come up, Jack Casey, but maybe right before I promote your books, I'll be like, speaking of...
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
Bro, this should make it. He's probably right, man. You probably should have that on deck, just ready to drop it at a moment.
So I was reading Jack Casey's.
Call, Jack.
I was reading Jack Casey's new book WVW3 in my bathtub last night, and
my penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Ready?
While
I got
reading.
one, dude. Really quick. So I was watching The Daily Show, and there was Leslie Jones' big-ass titties just flopped up on the table right there, and I was all like...
And her...
My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jack Casey. I guess you might have a point here, because we've already come up with at least 2.
That is a versatile soundbite, bro.
That's true. Let's see if there's anything else here.
The last place I wanted to be was Frostnipistan. I'd been trying some home remedies, including one recommended by a friend. She'd urged me to apply Elizabeth Arden cream. My mum used that on her lips. You want me to put that on my todger? It works, Harry. Trust me. I found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time. I felt as if my mother was right there in the room. Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
Yeah, no, I'm not using any of the rest of that.
How
but
can
yes.
you have he listened to that and approved that? This is him speaking. Yes, that's exactly what I want to say in the way that I want to say it. Release it.
Now read the penis part. Read it. I don't know if I can read that. Still, you told me to write it down. Now it's out there. You got to read. Just imagine if it was like the book came out and he finally read what somebody else wrote for him, and he's like, I'm not reading that. And so in the audiobook, it's just cut out. He's like, nope, not doing it. Just skip that chapter. Don't care.
I feel like that's one thing we have to entertain is that they made him say that.
It's beautiful. Like, I'd love to take my mind to that room in that studio where they're like, all right, now sit down and read that moment. Relive that. I don't want to. Do it. I don't want to. No, he probably loves it. He's probably getting off to it right now because his wife is seems like a nasty woman, as Trump would say. But, Dave, I think we're done here. We're going to jump over into the after party. This has been fun. This has been I just want to keep listening to that soothing voice. Not yours. Prince Harry's talking about his penis.
Sure, absolutely.
But,
I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah, good. Dave, before we go, do you have any final thoughts on anything of importance that we've discussed today?
I liked the light nature of it, dude. This is my favorite thing when we talk about all the awful things that are going on in the world. Is the best thing you can do is just smile at it and laugh. And you're right, all the news is fake. It's all fake. It's all fake.
It's all the irreverence that it deserves.
Yes. Let us point and laugh at these absolute clowns and demons alike. Yep. We defy you.
Absolutely. And we're going to do more of that in the after party. Demons in particular there, meaning Sam Harris and the entire conservative movement, and maybe James Cameron, maybe that. What did we say that we're carrying over? Oh, the Big Mike, yes. Big Mike.
Right, got to talk about
and
that.
And her
right.
penis oscillating between
I can be convinced.
Trauma and torture. I don't remember the quote. Dave, where can people find you and all the things that you do occasionally?
Yeah, I appreciate you putting the new, there it is. Yep. Goliath will fall on Twitter, trying to build that up. If anybody feels like doing something really nice, you can go on Twitter and tell Elon Musk to bring back Dave vs Goliath 1. I really want that account back, man. Nobody at Twitter will answer my emails. But follow me there at Twitter, and go follow me on YouTube, Dave vs Goliath. We had a great show this week talking about this Davos gathering, and next week I got Mike Heiss coming on, and the following week Monica Perez. So that's Monday nights at 7.
Dope.
We do a live show, and yeah, man, I love coming here. This is the best. Appreciate the invite.
Always. And Toad just got his original Twitter account back today, I'm pretty sure. And
good for him.
right before allegedly him going on Timcast. So maybe by the time you and I go on Timcast together very soon, right when we decide to announce that we're running for president and vice president together, then you will get your account back, and then we can go on Timcast together. Sound good, Dave?
Let's do that. Blue check everything.
2023. Let's make it happen. Dave, hang out for a second, and we'll jump over in just a moment. All right, y'all. It's been fun, as always, and you guys are great. Thank you for being in the chats. Thank you for, Dave Casey says, fuck, I'm crying LMAO. So I don't know what that's in reference to, but good. That's what we do here. We make people laugh and cry and just feel all the emotions and then go back to their miserable, boring lives of just mundanity. But if you would like to not immediately go back to your boring life of mundanity, we can keep this party going right now over in the after party at patreon.com/The System Is Down. Join the Downers Club, and in about 5 minutes or so, we will keep it going and talk about all the things. Again, thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you for enjoying this hump day with us and for drinking the wine and smoking the smokes and doing whatever you do with us while we do this. We really appreciate it, and I need to find my outro while I'm talking. Yes, that's it. That's all I had to say. But I think there's some libertarian conventions and things that I'm going to be at soon. I really should probably look into that. I know Florida and Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be at. I feel like there's one other one. So if you're out there and you ask me to come speak at your convention, please slide into my DMs because I'm very much a professional and don't remember who you are. But I love you and want to speak to you soon. And the rest of you, I want to speak to you even sooner. Come join the Downers Club and let's keep going. Until next time, until probably maybe tomorrow morning, unless we sleep in again, or if not, next Wednesday, stay awesome, question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then.
Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.